Welcome to News Laundry Chota Hafta. For the full episode, subscribe because it is behind the paywall and only subscribers get access to uncut, complete content. News Laundry Hafta is our weekly wrap of all that made the news, all that didn't, and all that should have and all that shouldn't have. We agree, we disagree, we critique, and occasionally we beat each other up. But it's all good fun. Subscribe.
This is a News Laundry podcast and you're listening to NL Hafta.
अंग्रेज अपना लगान और न्यूज़ लॉन्ड्री अपना हफ्ता कभी नहीं छोड़ते. Welcome to another episode of Hafta, and we have had a pretty exciting, eventful week. Before we get to the headlines, I would just like to thank all our subscribers who contributed to the NL Sena Fund. That's part of the headline, but I'll just put it out there in the beginning. India today has sued us for 2 crore 100 rupees. I guess the court date should be sometime next week, maybe tomorrow. We are recording this on Thursday, the 28th of October at 3 o'clock. So either tomorrow or next week. 9 people have been named in the case that are relevant to us. Raman sir, Manisha, Atul, myself, my 2 co-founders, Prashant Sareen and Rupak Kapoor, a wonderful freelancer who is not full-time at News Laundry, but he's written several pieces for us, Hridesh Joshi. And our wonderful reporter Ayush, who at the ripe old age of 24 or 25, I don't know how old he is, has got his first case of 2 crore against him. So, needless to say, we shall defend everybody and we shall defend that as long as News Laundry can exist. And I know that can happen only because so many of you support us, subscribe. So we don't have to grovel or ask for ads from governments. Neither will you have Kejriwal's mugshot on our banner. Neither will you have Yogi's mugshot on our banner. Neither will you have Modi's mugshot on our banner, which is a lot more than we can say about the India Day conclave. So yes, let them come after us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We were all very touched and encouraged by the fact that you guys topped up our legal fund. But just want to warn you on one bit, just because our legal fund was topped up doesn't mean we've got back to the pre-RBI guideline levels of subscriptions. We saw 40% drop when this whole recurring subscription cancellation thing happened. We still haven't got to pre-RBI guideline levels. So please go to newslaundry.com, click on the subscribe button and pay to keep news free, because you will be shocked and surprised to know how strong you make us, which is why we don't really get intimidated by any kind of action, whether it's government action or large private companies. On that note, let me introduce a wonderful panel to you. Joining me in the studio, Raman sir. Hi, Raman sir.
Hi.
And Manisha Pande.
Hello.
And joining us on the phone line from Bombay is Sudhir Suryawanshi. Hi, Sudhir.
Hi.
So, Sudhir is from Maharashtra. He's been writing on the politics of Maharashtra for over a decade, about 15 years. He's worked at DNA, Mumbai Mirror, and the Free Press Journal, among others. He is currently the assistant editor at New Indian Express. And I believe you have been a colleague of Raman sir's also?
Yeah, in DNA.
Yes. Yeah.
In DNA. I
Great
see.
tech. Yeah.
So you're based out of Bombay?
Yes.
I see, Sudhir. So, and you've always been in Bombay?
Yes. From last 15 years. Actually, I am from Jalgaon. I studied in Pune.
Okay. That's the perfect student city. In fact, when you go to Pune, you only see students. It is just amazing how many colleges and students there are.
Yeah.
And you've been following this Aryan case, I'm guessing, closely?
Yes. Very closely.
Sudhir, before we get into all the stuff you can tell us on how this is being covered in the media, how the NCB is, playing this and state versus NCB, just give us an idea of how credible an organization in Bombay is the Narcotics Control Bureau.
See, first of all, we need to understand when the Narcotic Control Bureau, they carried out the raid at the cruise rave party of the Mumbai coast. After the raid, the selfie, selfie man, now he's behind the bar of Mumbai police, Mr. Kiran Gosavi, KP Gosavi. His selfie got viral. Then other couple of people, photos got viral. Then after that, Nationalist Congress Party office, which is exactly behind the Narcotics Control Bureau office at Ballard Pier, one of the beautiful area of Bombay that British has built up. So that Minister of NCB, Nawab Malik, exposed that the private citizen, Mr. Kiran Gosavi, and the Manish Balushali, who is the BJP vice president or member of the BJP, was involved in the carried out during this raid. So how these private people can be part of the government raid, that is sensitive thing. That is the first thing. when this entire thing started getting exposed, earlier people have suspect that the NCB is, making raid, but nothing is happening. In the Riya Chakravarti case also, so far no charge sheet has been filed. What exactly happened with the Deepika Padukone? She was called at the NCP office. There are many celebrities and TV personalities were called, but nothing has happened. So that's one kind of history has left behind by Mr. Amir Wankhede during this all interrogation. Nothing has happened that time. But the Aryan Khan case has, given the, more detail between the line and how things works and how things, left out. Just like that Prabhakar Sahil, who is a witness in this entire, witness number 1 in the Aryan Khan case, has revealed very shocking and murky detail demanding 25 crore as a, bribe money.
So who has made this revelation?
Prabhakar Sahil, who is himself witness in this case, witness number 1.
So he is the witness. He's the NCB witness.
NCB. He is a witness made by the Narcotic Control Bureau, and he himself he has been serious charges against narcotic control.
Against them only.
Yeah,
that is quite funny.
There are a lot of loopholes in this entire prosecution case. The loopholes, which what I mean that. Shah Rukh Khan's son Aryan Khan was invited by the Pratik Gaba, and his friend like Rishabh Sachdeva, who is a relative of that Mohit Kamboj, who is a BJP former youth president of Bombay. Then Amir Furniture Wala. The people who invited Aryan Khan, they were let off because as per the NCB, they didn't get anything on them. But at the same time, they didn't get anything on Shah Rukh Khan's son Aryan Khan. Still, he was detained, and later he was, arrested. And then later, the NCB started making the story that they got something suspected in the Aryan Khan mobile. Then the question arises whether they also checked the Pratik Gaba, Rishabh Sachdeva, and Amir Furniture Wala, mobile and their chats also. So no. So that's raises a lot of questions on the functioning of the Narcotic Control Bureau.
Also, just another information that, at least from what I've heard of experts talking about it, that when they check your mobile phone, when they take possession, they have to give you either a panchnama or a memo that now we have taken it under control, now we are checking it, and now this is what we've got from it. There is no panchnama, there is no memo, so it is not admissible in court. They can't say, हमने इसके हाथ से phone लेके check कर दिया था. So they haven't made out any paperwork. So as far as paperwork is concerned, they have not taken his phone and examined it. They've only done this, ऐसे हाथ से ले लिया.
Yeah, but those chats have found their way to news channels.
News channels. So it is.
They have introduced.
Yeah. So exactly. So there is no way to check on that. So it'll fall flat in court. But it has fulfilled its aim of making it to prime time, which seems to me is the aim of many of the organizations. And now Kiran Gosavi has been arrested in Pune. He claimed that he surrendered. The Pune police say that he didn't surrender. We arrested him, and now we have detained him for a 2018 case, fraud case or something. So Sudhir, now two things. There is a communal spin being given to the Wankhede character also. Now this Gosavi guy, he was like a petty crook, but how does he move around with 2-3 bodyguards like he's a VIP? What's the deal?
All these things prove that Samir Wankhede is a Muslim as per document, but later on they might have done. Samir's father comes from Vidarbha region from Dalit community, so he might have used Dalit his father certificate to get the Dalit certificate, SC certificate, and might use for his competitive service examination and become an IRS officer.
There's no fraud here, right? I mean, you can claim Dalit certificate even if you're Christian or Muslim, or since his father had that, right?
What's the rule? I don't know the rule.
No, it's not really relevant to...
No. See, in Maharashtra or any other region, I feel that if you want to get any caste certificate, suppose I am a Hindu Maratha by birth, and it is mentioned in my caste certificate, Sudhir Suryawanshi, Hindu Maratha. So I cannot change my caste, saying that I'm something or other thing. If on the caste birth certificate of the Samir Wankhede, it is clearly mentioned he is a Muslim. On the basis of the birth certificate, only the caste certificate has been issued. Birth certificate is very paramount to get the caste certificate. if the person is Muslim, how he can get the
Caste, 'cause
caste certificate?
to be in the
Caste
caste,
certificate.
so basically to be in the caste system, you have to be a Hindu.
But
If
how
you're-
how do Christians qualify for reservation? Because there are
As
Dalit
Christian,
Christians.
I
They
don't know.
They don't have this. Yeah.
They qualify for Christian quota, but I don't know about any Dalit Christian quota. I don't know.
Dalit
Minority
reservation.
quota. That's
Minority
called
quota.
minority quota.
Minority quota.
That's called
So it's-
minority quota.
So now, just how is this has become relevant? I mean, because I saw a lot of discussion on this. This has become relevant because now to basically show that this is a fraud case, this is basically an attack on Wankhede's credibility, right? Otherwise, it has no impact on the case. I mean, whether he has drugs or not has.
It will impact on Wankhede credibility, and it will also make him lose his job from the IRS service.
Oh, so this could make him lose his job. Is that why there's a call for an inquiry? They're saying that he should be suspended. There should be an inquiry, which they haven't done.
NCP is going to have a,
That is regarding the charges of the Prabhakar Sahil, like a corruption.
Okay, that is not for this. That is not for this.
There are 2-3 aspects in that entire case.
Okay, so no, but I mean, is there a demand for an inquiry on how he got the benefit of reservation when he's not qualified to be?
No, NCP NCP says that they are going to go to the court on this issue.
No,
but it's mostly
no,
as to just
Sir, here what will happen, I will tell you. They don't need to go court also. What somebody, if register case with any police station, Mr. Samir Dawood Wankhede has got a bogus caste certificate, then
How does Nawab Malik have so much information, man?
Yeah,
and why don't
and-
how is he? I mean, isn't he the best source for journalists? You should just have him on your speed dial.
No, I will tell you, because when Nawab Malik was in opposition, so we regularly used to meet that time. Nawab Malik has what we call detective type of eyes to find
प्रवृत्ति
everything.
वो जासूसी प्रवृत्ति के आदमी है.
So, when Nawab Malik, his own son-in-law, was behind the bar, Samir Khan, on the charges of that drug, but later it found out it was just, some Ayurvedic tobacco or something, scented tobacco or something like that. Therefore, he was given the bail. So his own son-in-law was behind the bar. His daughter was alone. There were 2 kids at home. So they went to the, big trauma, emotional trauma. And the man had at no fault, but still he was behind the bar. That gave a lot of fire to Mr. Malik, to find out who is Samir Wankhede, Mr. Samir Dawood Wankhede or Samir Nanadev
Achha, so he
Wankhede.
has an old enmity with him. That's interesting. I see.
So besides that, there was a constant fight here since this new government, Mahavikas Agadi, has come from center versus state government. Center is always, trying with this, using this agency as targeting here. So the state government also wanted to do, expose this agency in a big way. So in the cabinet meeting here, Uddhav Thackeray and Deputy Chief Ajit Pawar and other ministers, prominent minister, told Nawab Malik, you just go ahead. Our mandate, unofficial mandate, is with you. You just do batting. We are with you. Whatever you need, you just tell us. So therefore, Nawab Malik has a mandate of the government as well. And the Sharad Pawar is also in a 2-3, couple of press conference, has taken the side of Nawab Malik and the raised question on the Samir Wankhede.
And now with the Pune police arresting, what's his name? Gosavi.
KP Gosai.
Now, he clearly, I mean, they can put pressure on him and get information out of him. And if he's already has a record which is not exactly sparkling clean, they could get information on the center. Are you foreseeing there could be a constitutional crisis? And I mean, I had predicted this with, several times, whether it is in Punjab with the police coming here wanting to arrest some central government ministers, Bengal police doing the same. Do you foresee any constitutional crisis? Let's say the NCB says we want our witness back. Pune police says we are not sending him. For those of you who want to know, NCB reports to the central government, which is under the BJP, and the state police reports to the Shiv Sena NCP alliance. So, I mean, do you see any such crisis brewing, or is this guy dispensable? BJP से हमें कोई लेना देना नहीं है, जो करना है इसके साथ करो.
No, I don't think so. That see the way this entire case is blowing up and escalating, day by day. It's day by day is going to be very bigger and bigger and bigger. This case. So it is now clearly this is a fight between the state and center. That day also Uddhav Thackeray has told that he will, write the letter to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, against all agencies who are targeting the Bollywood celebrity. After the Hollywood, Bollywood is only, major industry across the country that generate the jobs and 2-3% contribute as in GDP as well. The industry is damaged, the entire thing will be, in problem. Therefore,
Regarding cricket, Manisha, you want to give us the context of all that's happened, including some bizarre arrests?
Given my interest in cricket,
Given mine, now
actually,
it's a competition.
Anand Vardhan
who's
should
the-
have been there. He's not here. He's had some family emergencies to look at, but that
Hmm.
would have been nice. I didn't even watch the match. Did you watch the match?
No.
you
Are you
watched
kidding?
the match?
Liverpool
Which
was playing
match?
Manchester United that
Ah.
night. Yeah.
You didn't watch because
So I
the
saw,
thing with
I mean,
cricket
part
is you
of it.
always watch if it's India versus Pakistan.
No, there
even
was
if you
there
don't
was
watch.
a football match, so I was watching
Liverpool-
a football match most of the.
So
So
while
I
we
think
wo-
I think this match must have started at like 7:38.
Yeah.
And the Liverpool match
9
started at
o'clock.
9, and
9.
before that, 10 minutes before that, Rooney Shooney were commenting. So
Yes.
yeah, man.
So we lost and Pakistan won, and it was a great game. Apparently, Pakistan did a great job. But as it has become now, every India-Pakistan match has to be followed up by a lot of politics and arrests. I think I already knew कि shit India-Pakistan मतलब कल लोग arrest होंगे, लोग पीटे
The
जाएंगे.
first
Something
thing came
like
to
that.
my mind is the same. I mean, I just prayed that these people should not go to Shami's house and burn it down.
That kind of stuff would
So
be very
there were
important.
That's
actually
what
lots
I
of
thought
things happening around it. So of course there was this attack on Shami purely only because he's Muslim. And the match was against Pakistan. So just abuse, troll, kind of.
Although some of the obvious Godi channels have tried to show that Indian media, including Z, Sudhir's DNA or whatever show that he was doing, that all the trolling was by Pakistanis and Indian journalists fell for it, and shame on them. They played
Yeah.
into Pakistan's
Yeah, yeah,
hands.
yeah.
But there are enough Indian handles that you can see have
that
been
you can see
commenting
have
on
done it. And no one supported it, thankfully. I mean, thank God for small mercy. So all the cricketers kind of came out and said that, okay, not done, you can't troll him, blah, blah, blah. Then there was this whole thing about celebrations. So a lot of people heard patakas in their neighborhoods saying that fireworks went off because Pakistan won. Some people say it's Karwa Chauth celebration. And
Karwa
of course, I have never heard patakas in Karwa
That
Chauth
was
celebration.
Karwa Chauth night also?
Yeah, it was a Karwa Chauth night.
Oh.
So then, and then of course there was in Kashmir there were celebrations. There was the medical college where girls were cheering Pakistan and chanting "Jeewe Jeewe Pakistan" and all. There were talks of them being suspended, and then within a day there was headlines that there's going to be strict action against them, and now they have a case against them. And similarly, you have a teacher in Agra who's been slapped with UAPA. She sent a WhatsApp message saying we
have
won.
they slapped her with UAPA? She was arrested and then released. She was bailed. So I'm not sure they slapped her
But-
with UAPA, but the three others in
Agra.
UP.
Sedition.
Sedition. They've been
Sedition.
slapped on sedition. But
The Agra teacher.
the Agra teacher sedition.
Sedition
These
and
three
the
guys are
Kashmiri-
UAPA.
yeah.
And all three of them had got Pradhan Mantri scholarship. They were studying on that.
So now two things. You can, be disgusted or disappointed with someone cheering for Pakistan. But slapping them with sedition, you have become the Taliban. It is not that what if you become Taliban, and all those people who would say you haven't read world history or haven't read history if you call these guys Nazis. Well, you were saying this 5 years ago. Tell us how close we are today. And every year how much closer we get. Sudhir, since you have been covering, Maharashtra politics for a while, you're the perfect person to tell us. There was a time when BJP was Atalji's BJP and Shiv Sena was Bal Thackeray's Shiv Sena. Shiv Sena was many shades right of the BJP. BJP was the moderate voice. And today, the Shiv Sena is actually as moderate as AAP or anybody else, when it's perception. And the BJP is way right. I would have thought if someone had told me that this is going to happen 15 years now. I mean, I was in Bombay working for Rajtak in 99 for about 3 months. The whole identity of Shiv Sena, and even my colleagues at India Today, I remember many of them used to be very angry with my take on Bal Thackeray. They said, keep your North Indian sensibilities in Delhi. Here, Bala Sahab bolne ka. I used to say Bal Thackeray. And I'm talking about employees of India Today. Huh? I'm not talking about... He said, ye apne Delhi ki shaan patti Delhi mein chhodne ka. But their relevance was because he was the Marathi identity and he was the Hindu identity. Today, with this whole softening of their stand, do you think that they can still remain politically relevant in the long run?
See, a very important thing you asked me. If you see the history of the Shiv Sena and the family of the Thackeray particularly, Thackeray family has got two legacies. one legacy, reformative legacy, has given by the Uddhav Thackeray's grandfather, whose the name is Prabodhan Kar. Prabodhan Kar means reformer. He has given the title to him, Keshav Thackeray, who is Bal Thackeray's father. He was very reformative. He was against all these religious extremist practice. Very he was called one of the reformer in Maharashtra, and highly respected personality in Maharashtra, like Shahu Phule, not that much, but on that line, Shahu Phule Ambedkar line. And Balasaheb Thackeray's legacy was extremist, calling green blood and all these things, rabble rousing, extremist Hindutva things were there. I will tell you, when this government formation was going on, that time Congress minister, joined the government, and they want to sit with Shiv Sena to form the government in Maharashtra. That time, Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi was completely against. They said, how can we sit with the, Hindutva, Shiv Sena like Hindutva party? And I have mentioned in my book also, Checkmate, how BJP won and lost. That time, Balasaheb Thorat, who was the Congress president of Maharashtra, and other people were there. And that time, they told Sonia Gandhi, see, Shiv Sena has two legacies, one by Balasaheb Thackeray, another is by his, father, Uddhav Thackeray, grandfather, Prabodhan Kar Keshav Thackeray. And we are very much confident that Uddhav Thackeray will take his grandfather legacy and his father legacy forward. And we are exactly seeing the same kind of, legacy is being carried forward by Uddhav Thackeray. Means larger sort of the Hindutva, not the narrowing. He is adopting inclusive sort of the Hindutva, not one side of the myopic side of the Hindutva. So therefore, and that has been appealing many sections. Like he is very much popular among the Muslims now, and the women vote as well. During the COVID period, his state address is very popular among the particularly ladies, how to do, to keep ourselves safe and all these things. So the Sena is getting a lot of popularity. And other important things, the relevance of the Sena, as you asked, Uddhav Thackeray as a Shiv Sena president and Uddhav Thackeray as a chief minister are the two different and very wide things.
Regarding these series in the last 2 days of signs of intolerance of majoritarian mob rule, whether it was Prakash Jha followed by the minister, Home Minister of Madhya Pradesh saying that what they did is wrong, but these guys have to change their name. Like Sadhi Pragya saying that, you have to get it approved by us, the script, otherwise you will not be allowed to make movies. Who is us? Of course, I want to know.
Another censor board headed by Pragya Thakur.
This is not making much news, but what's happening in Tripura is very scary. Some of the things. We have a piece by Samrat, which is also my recommendation. We should read it. But the kind of rallies that are going out with people leading chants like, Muhammad Tera Baap Kaun, Hare Krishna, whatever, Ram or whatever. And like really provocative communal sloganeering, vandalism.
And Tripura of all places, which has never seen anything like this.
It's very close to, yeah, exactly. That's what the piece talks about, why this is happening. It's close to Kamila, where the Bangladesh attacks had happened. So there is, of course, a need to kind of use that to spur events in India.
And this is the only...
Who benefits from it, we know.
And BJP has, other than, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Andhra, where they've had no presence, the other place they found impossible to penetrate is the Northeast. Now with Assam in their fold, the only way to get there is now their chance. And this is, I still don't understand how people can still see BJP as a moderate or benign force. It's the insanity is reaching levels which one can't just sit back and say this is normal.
Nobody speaks, against this kind of violence. Nobody speaks a word about it. If you see the entire leadership, and I think we have been saying it times and again, there's some particular narrative in which all these things fall in. The attack on the Muslims community.
The statements that come.
Anti-conversion law. And even if you look at the police, weeding out criminals, so you will predominantly, they will be Muslims. Okay, they're being killed in encounters. So if you see the entire thing, ever since this government has come into...
It's worrying, yeah. All of you listening in, the Chota Hafta, do subscribe so you can listen to the entire Hafta. We will see you again next week with the Hafta. Till then, subscribe, pay to keep news free, because when the public pays, the public is served. When advertisers pay, advertisers are served. Thank you. Goodbye.
All the News Laundry podcasts are available on Stitcher, iTunes, and any other podcast platform.
Please subscribe to News Laundry. Help us keep news independent. catch all our podcasts on news, pop culture, current affairs and sport, visit newslaundry.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channel. सुन लिया अफ्रीका मुफत खोरों? Not to brag or anything, but News Laundry Hafta features in the top 50 in the world on SoundCloud in the news and politics category for podcasts. So do subscribe and see what you're missing, because when the public pays, the public is served. When advertisers pay, advertisers are served. Subscribe, help keep news independent and free. All News Laundry podcasts are available on iTunes and Stitcher and any other podcast platform.